Nicolas Cage in Face Off.
So that's a beautiful introduction as we go live. Graylin showing off some of his personality. Really excited to do this quick little interview here. And the title that I included in this is why this 22-year real estate veteran decided to join EXP and our organization. And Graylin, our guest, is someone that I've known for a long time, but I'm excited to dig in on his experience a little bit and sort of tease out, what about EXP and our organization led him to jump over and join us, and what that looks like and so forth. So Graylin is in Michigan, 5 kids, so he's one-upped Pam and I. He's just even slightly crazier than we are, and has a varied experience within real estate. So investor, agent, kind of have done a little bit of everything. He's someone who's like me that loves to learn, has invested a great deal into his education and into coaching and so forth, so that he can, increase his knowledge and skills and so forth. He and I are actually working on a pretty cool project right now as well to provide value for real estate agents in our real estate community. But Graylin, why don't you start by letting everybody know, giving a little bit more context about your experience, maybe even why you got into real estate, and where, I mentioned Michigan, but Michigan's a big state, where, what you're, where you focus on, so that, maybe we can turn up some referral opportunities for you here as well.
Absolutely. So again, Graylin Profit. I'm in Michigan, Metro Detroit area. I serve 4 counties, Wayne County, Oakland County, well, actually 5, Livingston, Washtenaw, and Macomb, if anybody's listening.
Yeah.
We actually have one area in Michigan where the 4 counties meet on the intersection. It's kind of weird, but anyway.
Yep.
Been in real estate. I started out with Carlton Sheets Dreams back in the day. So,
no money down real estate.
No
baby.
money down real estate. God rest his soul. He passed away last year, but started out there. Watched the infomercial. And I was like, this is some great stuff. I just go down to the market, pick up a couple houses, and make some money. Until I got into it, and I was like deer in the headlights. Like, what the heck? I mean, back in 1998, when it read putting houses on the market, I'm like, is there some sort of market that you go to and, they're like sitting on a shelf or something, like little cards. And I had no idea what I was thinking. So got into that, started trying to learn, and, he does it creatively, and
Yep.
I just couldn't get the gist of it. I'm like, why would someone give me your house, and sign a deed over or do this without taking over a loan? Just like everybody has the questions these days.
Yep.
And so I started researching into other real estate trainers and coaches, found some other people, and decided to start doing wholesaling, buying properties for a great deal and selling them to a fix and flipper for a good deal. And that went good for a couple years. No one was really wholesaling back then. So it was a wide.
This was mid 2000s, right?
Yeah. Yep. Early 2000s. And then all of a sudden, I was using realtors to get into the homes. And after a while, I couldn't get a hold of them anymore. And by the time they got a hold of me, the house I wanted to try and, put under contract was gone. So I was like, I'll show you. I'll go get my license, and I'll keep the money too. So started doing that. Got the bug, the traditional real estate bug, doing traditional listings. Never thought I was, because, going from a 9 to 5 and going straight to 100% commission, that's pretty scary. That was even before I got married. I was scared of that. I'm like, man, I'm not that good. And so I always have had some sort of fallback, like a job or something along with. So I started doing that, and then the market, got married. I wouldn't call it a distraction, but got married, had a couple kids, and then the market fell out.
Yeah.
And everybody headed for the hills. I stuck with it. I did have a full-time job, but I stuck with it. Was doing a lot of short sales on the side. But that was a means to an end. For every short sale, I probably aged 10 years. Those were brutal. And while I made some good money, my hair is getting gray now. It's getting bald here, so still recovering. So after that, I really focused in on doing, mixing through doing investing, lease options. I really love lease options. Love them. Rentals. Didn't like rentals too much because, your tenant, you have to find a great tenant. And then if you don't, you're only giving up, they're only giving you a month and a half rent, a security. So not a lot of skin in the game. They can put a hole in your furnace. There's your security deposit, so really stuck with lease options, and then moved over, got the bright idea that I wanted to go into property management, see what that side was. So 2014, I became a property manager, managed over 500 plus homes, and really got an education from that. Real big education. But I'm glad I did it. More knowledge. And then, and through the way, I've, had the stops, went to a company called Remerica Country Place where I got my license. Then I moved over to Keller Williams, a couple years, left Keller Williams, went to a mom and pop brokerage to try to help out. Went back to Keller Williams. Then when I went to property management, the property management company I was with had a Next Home franchise. So did that. That was great. And then got exposed to EXP in 2018, but didn't move just yet. I didn't move just yet because there's a big powerhouse team in the area, and everybody was flocking to EXP. And, we're like, whatever. They're not going to be around. And little did I know they had already been around 9 years prior, just didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
I've known Josh forever. So from the Reticulous days.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Good days. And found out that he had went to EXP and reached out, and the rest is history. So I wanted, if I was going to make the jump to EXP, it had to be something that, gave me value. Just jumping to EXP from the other agents who were trying to recruit me, they weren't giving me any value other than they'll give me 1,000 leads. I'll have to work 80 hours a week, but I'll be a millionaire in 3 years, sacrificing my life and my family. And that just wasn't what I wanted. So I came to EXP and got with a great group of people, Josh and all of our other partners, and haven't looked back since.
Right on. So one thing I like to do on these, just because I know people are always curious, from a production standpoint, if you had to identify your top, 1, 2, or 3 sources of business, where you're getting, business on the production side, what would you say to folks who are curious on that end?
I would say it's mostly word of mouth for me.
Okay.
But word of mouth can dry up. So I've done a lot of, Craigslist ads, looking for buyers, and listings, trying to focus more on listings, but trying to find those listings from the buyers, because, buyers for the most part can be sellers. If you ask the right questions.
Yep. 100%.
So, I believe 55% of your seller leads come from your buyer leads. So as of right now, most of it's referral. Okay. I've built up a big clientele.
Do you do anything to help facilitate that? In other words, how are you staying in communication with your sphere to encourage those referrals? Is there anything proactive to that end?
Yeah, after we do a sale or something, I keep track. I probably call I probably call my clients once every 2 months.
Okay.
Wish them a happy birthday. The normal stuff.
Yeah.
A drip campaign here and there. I can obviously get a lot better at doing that.
Yeah.
So
And
really
we should talk outside of this. I think there's definitely some things that you could do to facilitate even more of those opportunities for sure.
Yeah, and my referral, my client base, I work so hard for them and make sure and give them the best deal possible and give them the best tips that I get people calling me all day long. Hey, so and so, you helped with a house. Can you help me? And there's a lot of big teams out there, and I don't necessarily like to get big because then people come to me because of the great service I'm giving them.
Yeah.
If I pass it off, then I'm not sure if the same services they're gonna get the same service. So,
Well, and the interesting thing that you touched on there is because of our model with EXP, we can build an organization where you have the benefits of having a big team from a leverage perspective, right? Because the dream of a big team, the red book, the KW red book, is that you build this organization where you are creating leverage by building a team. Well, we can build, and I'm an example of that. You can build an organization without boundaries, and yet in your personal production still provide, as you described, that personal experience, which is why people want to work with you. But because there's the ability to build a referral fee network or organization, it can supplement and eventually replace the income from the day-to-day transactional income. And I imagine that, and we've had several conversations here, so I'm kind of teeing it up here, but I know that was a big part of it for you is, building something that eventually, whether you take off and spend a month with your family, or you've had some hardships, some health things to deal with your family, and I don't mean deal with, but that you've had to take on, and so having and the ability to build something like that, and to have an organization that you can help and support, that also then helps and supports you. I know that's a big factor for you, and it's certainly a big factor for me as well.
oh yeah, and from, if anything I've learned from the investment standpoint is, residual is the end game. As far as the real estate's concerned, residual is the end game. So until I came to EXP, there wasn't really a residual end game that I felt in real estate as paramount as EXP's program. Yes, I mean, is it similar to KW's? Sure, but there's different tweaks that make it huge. In investing, I have residual income coming in. If I want to leave, then great. But as a traditional agent, unless you're a mega agent or someone who has just leads toppling over and you got this huge team, you can't take off. You can't take off. And that was perfect for me, is to start building residual. And if I want to, go take off or take care of my family or go do something, I can do that. So, and that's what now I'm working towards, residual in the investing side, now residual in the traditional side, but still being able to give that top-notch service to all my clients or refer them to somebody who I feel is, is that mirrors how I work.
Yeah. The residual is an interesting thing because the referral fee income that I earn on a monthly basis, I just pulled it up on my calculator. Because I too got started as in real estate investing. At one point I had 58 doors or something like that. And even with that, my cash flow was not nearly what I've built in 2 years with our business model, without having to put up capital risk, credit risk, really virtually any risk whatsoever. And so I still love and believe in real estate as a passive income vehicle, but it's hard to beat this when you look at it from that perspective.
Oh yeah, yeah. It really is. It's hard to beat it. It's crazy. It's you just when you think everybody's thought of something else comes out. So
yeah. Well, as we come in for a landing here, what would you say to someone who is maybe they're thinking about making a switch to EXP, or they're just thinking about making a switch out of their brokerage, and EXP is one of those that's in the consideration set? What would you say to somebody in that boat?
Well, I would say, obviously you have to do your research. But if you're looking for a great support system, shameless plug, we have a great group. But and our group, our EXP group is, like you say, boundless, and crosses state lines, and it's virtual. So you got to really find a group that's going to help you. I mean, help you with your goals, give you the keys to the castle, help you along. It's not going to do it for you, but it's called walking the path of least resistance, and starting out in real estate, there's a bunch of groups out there that will promise you 100% commission and this and that, but they don't give you any tools or processes to get there. It's like, I'm only going to charge you a little bit, but you got to do everything else. Or you go to the big brokerages where they charge you an arm and a leg, and they're supplying you support, but you can't stay long enough because they're charging you so much to be there. EXP has a balance of both, and the group, our group, the Home Boss group, and Josh is, I would say, is one of the best groups out there. It's manageable. There's support almost 24/7.
Yeah. So as we kind of wrap up here, if you'd like to chat with Graylin or I, you can reach out to us. We're on social. We're easy to find, and also know that we're not gonna try and pressure you or hard sell you. When I have a conversation with an agent or broker that we're exploring whether this is a good fit for them, I view my job as providing them with information and helping them make the best informed decision for their business and for their family as well. And do I believe that in most cases that best option is with us? Yeah, because I do think we've put together some amazing tools and systems and coaches and mentorship and help and support. But ultimately we want people that want to be with us, not somebody that we've pressured or pushed into a decision one way or another. So feel free to reach out. You can private message, call, text, email. If you Google either of us, like I said, it's easy to find us, easy to get a hold of us. Graylin, I'm excited to do this. I've been excited to have you on board. We've got a pretty cool project we're working on, which has me excited as well. So thanks for taking some time and sharing your story with folks, and hopefully this will spark some great conversations for the both of us.
Absolutely. I mean, I truly believe our company is the best. Our services are the best, and you're better off when you use our services. So and you got to truly believe that. So we don't think that we're better than anybody else, but we're the best. So
yeah. Metro Detroit, Graylin can take care of you. Central PA, Harrisburg, Mechanicsburg, York area, send them my way. We'll take great care of them. Thanks for spending some time with us. Appreciate you, Graylin, and I look forward to chatting again soon.
And one last thing, if you can find a Graylin prophet other than myself and my father, I'll give you $100. But I don't think you're going to find too many of us out there.
Yeah, there's not many Josh Schoenlys, at least spelled like mine is either.
Nope. So we're unique. You can find us.
For sure. We're easy to find. No doubt about it. All right. Thanks, buddy. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, you too.
All right.